What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back. Today we have a special video that I've been kind of planning for a while. Today we're going to be going over my Tom Ford collection. Currently I have maybe I think eight Tom Fords at the moment. I used to have a lot more, but I sold those throughout the past couple of months and years. So currently what I have is things that I completely love from the brand. There's been a lot of talks of the brand as a whole from when it launched. You know, you had amazing classics that came out, you know, Tuscan Leather, Oud Wood, Black Orchid, which will be in this video. But first and foremost, let's mention stuff that's not going to be in this video, of stuff that I've owned in the past and have got rid of. So the first one up is Plum Japanese. So that one can come to a surprise, but I loved that one, but I sold it because I wasn't wearing it. If you're not familiar with Plum Japanese, it's one of Tom Ford's best works in my opinion, the brand. But you got plum, fruits, cinnamon from what I remember, maybe a little bit resinous, just this gorgeous spicy blend that kind of is a perfect counterpart to Tobacco Vanille, but with a fruitiness added to it. Just an all-around great scent, but I sold that one at the time to buy Celine Nightclubbing, which I do not regret at all. I sold that to someone who loves Plum Japanese. They, you know, buy backup bottles, things like that. So mine was just sitting on the shelf. I was kind of scared to wear it, just because, you know, once I was out, that was it. So instead of staring at it, I sold it to somebody who would appreciate more, and then I got myself something brand new. So that was a win-win there for me, I think. If anything, I can get a decant at some point, but at this point, I don't miss it. Tobacco Vanille is not in this video. I had it at one point, and I sold it to a friend. The reason, and then Tobacco Vanille holds a really special place to me as well. I first smelled it in 2012, so when I was pretty young, I smelled it and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is incredible. So fast forward, you know, maybe like 8 years or 7 years later, I bought my first bottle from a trade, I think, and it was great. I fell in love with it too, but the formulation has changed a little bit over time. It's become more sweet and not more vanilla forward versus the spice from the tobaccos. But I sold it to a friend because this one came into my life. So this is Les Indemodab Vanille Van. So again, tobacco and vanilla, but to me this is a more mature, there we go, more mature fragrance, more complex. No idea what's going on with my focus, but as you can see, I've used quite a bit, and that's me from taking a break on it. But just more complex, better ingredients in my opinion. They both serve their purposes, but when I had both of these in my collection, I was just reaching for this a lot more. It's a lot more my speed, so that's kind of why I got rid of Tobacco Vanille. Other ones that I've had and got rid of was Fougère Platine and Fougère d'Argent, along with Fucking Fabulous as well. So that has its own story. I don't know, I think I made a video on that one actually. Again, not in the video, but I wouldn't mind owning. So Tom Ford's Tuscan Leather is not in this video. I do enjoy that one. I'll get it at some point, but honestly, I'd rather get Diptyque's Orilla. I think it's called like that. Very similar, but I don't know. I think it's just a little updated version of Tuscan Leather, although Tuscan Leather is a classic. And then the only other one that's on my radar right now is Ombre Leather Parfum. That one is incredible. And then I guess Rose Prick. I need to try that again, but I remember the first time I tried that, I almost puked, but I think I would like it now. So those are the only three that I wouldn't mind getting. All right, let's get started actually, because we're gonna run out of time quick. First one up is Tom Ford's Beau de Jour. Top notes, you have lavender, lavandin, and at the heart you have rosemary, geranium, mint, oak moss, basil. At the base you have amber and patchouli. So this unfortunately has been discontinued in this bottle and got re-released into the signature line, so that's good. I'm sure this is a big hit for Tom Ford. Very masculine scent, very gorgeous, classic barbershop fragrance, very gentlemanly, can't go wrong. Honestly, you can wear that anytime. I prefer day, night, all kinds of weather, works well in the heat and the cold. Just a really great all-around scent. It blows my mind every time I wear it. It's just a gorgeous scent. And if you can get it for a good price in the signature line, go ahead. It's amazing. Can't go wrong. Davidoff Zeno is somewhat in that realm, although Zeno is a little more bright, a little brighter, whereas Tom Ford's Beau de Jour is a little more lavender focus, just barely though. Very almost identical, I would say, but both timeless pieces. One's a lot older, obviously. So we'll put this back there. Okay. Next up, we have Tom Ford's Oud Fleur. This one has been discontinued, unfortunately. I think it's incredible. One of the best of the house. And this one is from Jan Vasnier, that's the perfumer, who also did Plum Japonaise, Lavender Palm, Santal Blush, Vanille Fatale, which has just been re-released. That one had got discontinued for a second. So maybe there's hope for this. And then that perfumer also did Velvet Orchid, which I like as well. I got that one from my mother maybe 2 years ago now, and she's been going through that bottle like crazy. But Oud Fleur has rose, oud, resins, patchouli, and sandalwood. Just an all-around great oud rose, but with some beautiful spices in there that kind of doesn't give you a traditional oud rose. Just a nice spicy patchouli oud rose. Gorgeous. This one does lean a little bit fall, but I wear it all the time. I love this. I love complex florals in the heat, and this is one of them. So that one is Oud Fleur. Next up, we got another great one, and again, these are all great. This is why I still have them. This one is Noir de Noir, 2007 release. One of the originals from the line, along with Tobacco Vanille. This one, I think, is still around. If they discontinue this, they are crazy. This is from 2007, like I said, and this is Jacques Cavalier, Henry Fremont, and Olivier Cresp. Top notes, you have saffron. Middle is black rose, truffle, and floral notes. And at the base, you have patchouli, vanilla, oud, and oak moss. So just, again, another oud rose that is a little different. This one's a little more chocolatey, velvety, very sensual fragrance, very elegant. Perfectly unisex, I think, but I would love to smell a lady in this. This would go crazy if someone pulled this, or a lady wore this. But this is Noir de Noir. Got this for an amazing deal a couple of years ago. Not for everybody's nose, so it must have been a catch and release for this gentleman, but glad to have this. I still have a bunch left in here. It's probably like 48 mils left, but great special occasion fragrance for me, date night, anything, black tie event. definitely stand out with that. Next, we have Lavender Extreme, which was one of the newer release, but it got discontinued very quickly. Maybe not even a year and a half, they got the axe. Don't know why. It's incredible. One of the best lavender perfumes out there. But the perfumer for this is Olivier Guillotine. He's the vice president at Givaudan, and he has made a bunch of incredible fragrances for Tom Ford over his years as a perfumer. So he's done Fougère d'Argent, Fougère Platine, Noir, Rive d'Ambre, Tobacco Oud, which everyone praises, although that one got discontinued as well. And then this gentleman did Tobacco Vanille, Vert Bohème, and Vert d'Encens. So Lavender Extreme is kind of what it says. Just overdose of lavender. At the top you have violet, lemon, and then in the middle you have lavender, cinnamon, geranium, rose, and then in the base tonka bean and coumarin. This is just a really pleasant scent. Definitely not for everybody, but if you like therapeutic scents that kind of, transport you to a more calm state, this is at the top. I wear this one to bed a lot of times. At least I used to. Just a really comforting scent. The lavender in here is very similar to the lavender in Beau de Jour. Both came around the same time at 2019, 2020 area. But just a gorgeous lavender. If you're a lavender fan and you haven't tried this or do not own this, what are you doing? Check it out. It's good. The only gripe I have about it is the price point. For these, I don't even know what line this is called, but for these special editions, the price point is ridiculous. I'm sure it's only gotten worse in 2024. I got this at an outlet store for a really, really great price. And yeah, don't pay premium for this. Get it for a good deal. If you can score this for under 200, do it. Especially if you're a Tom Ford collector. Next up, we have one of the best of the bunch here. Again, discontinued. All the good Tom Fords are discontinued. Why is that? I don't know. Maybe they're too complex and they gotta dumb it down a little bit. But this is Tom Ford's Noir Anthracite. Perfumer is Honoring Blanc from Fremeniche. And this one's mind-blowing. Every time I smell it, I fall in love with it. Although I don't wear it often, but when I do, it's a great statement piece. This one, at the top note you have Sichuan pepper, ginger, bergamot. In the middle you got spices, galbanum, jasmine. And on the base you have ebony, cedar, birch, leather, sandalwood, patchouli, and amberwood. Again, I found this at a discount store. My biggest fragrance to regret to date would be not buying 8 bottles of this that I saw at that store for $34 a piece, I think. Somewhere around there. Very, very cheap. I could have bought those, stored them, and I'd be super rich now. But again, discontinued fragrance, which is a shame. Just one of the best spicy fragrances around. Very wet dirt forest vibe here. Very dark, very mysterious, and just an all around incredible scent. Very, very Tom Ford, very on brand for the early days of Tom Ford. even though this isn't early days, but back in the day, they used to just do statement pieces with, you know, amazing materials before they got bought out by Estee Lauder. So Tom Ford's Noir Anthracite, one of the best spicy, earthy fragrances around, in my opinion. All right, next we have Black Orchid EDP, which is this one right here. So this is Black Orchid EDP. This has a tassel on it, gold tassel, and this is a 50 ml bottle. And this one is from 2006, so right before the private line came out. Black Orchid EDP was released by Givaudan in 2006. Perfumers are David Appel and Pierre Negrin. The note breakdown for this is way too long, but essentially you have flowers, truffles, a bunch of citruses, a bunch of spices, Mexican chocolate, patchouli, musk, incense, amber, sandalwood, and vetiver. So just a big old list of notes, but I've said this before in one of my videos. Is this a masterpiece? I think so. I mean, it stood the test of time. Gorgeous floral, dark floral, also bright. Just a very interesting fragrance. A lot of people hate it, but I think it's one of the best. And I think Noir de Noir and Black Orchid were made, or someone got the brief to make Black Orchid, and I think these two were the finalists, Noir de Noir and Black Orchid won, obviously, and then this one was so good that it had to get released later again. So story is around Gabe was it Oppenheimer or Gabe? The author for the Ghost Perfumer. He interviewed a bunch of perfumers, and that's when this information came out. So very interesting stuff. If you haven't checked out his book, I'll link it in the bio if you want to learn more about the industry and things like that. So pretty fun to knowledge on that one. Recent pickup is this. This is Black Orchid Parfum version. This came out in 2020. No perfumers listed or anything like that, but this note breakdown is a little more simple, but it's still a very complex fragrance somehow. For this one, we have at the top truffle and plum. The middle, you have rum, ylang ylang, Black Orchid. So they must have created a Black Orchid note, because that wasn't in the original Black Orchid fragrance. They kind of combined a bunch of things to create the accord, but someone must have created a Black Orchid extract. So, and then at the base you have patchouli. So really complex as well. I would say the Parfum and the EDP are 85 to 90% similar. The Parfum might be slightly more mature, barely, and then a little bit of booziness added to it, but not much to where it's going to make a big difference. So very similar, different concentrations obviously, but they both last long. They both are incredible. You cannot go wrong with either if you're deciding between the two. I highly enjoy both of them equally. And then the last of my Tom Ford collection is this special one here. So this one is Tom Ford for Men Extreme. This was launched in 2007. This is the extreme version of the original Tom Ford for Men, which was more of an easy wear, just a simple, bright, masculine fragrance. Whereas this one, the extreme is goes a little bit onto the richer side of things. There is no tassel on this one, on this men's line. It's just a simple ring up top. Beautiful looking bottle with that flask. For this one you have truffle again, patchouli, fig, cedar, and lemon. I don't know how this works, but it does work. Just a gorgeous scent. I'm hoping this gets re-released as a parfum version, or you know, it would be cool to see an extrait of this, but I doubt that would ever happen. But I'll take a parfum version of this. If they launch it in the signature line, this will make sales. It'll do some numbers. So bring back Tom Ford from an extreme. That way I don't have to keep saving this, you know, because this has been discontinued for a while as well. Gorgeous scent. But that'll do it, you guys. That is my Tom Ford fragrance collection. Like I said, I've had more in the past, but this is what I currently have. I love all of these that I have in front of me, although I do wish to see the brand do a restructuring on their releases. They've been releasing a lot of mediocre stuff in the past, you know, plus they're releasing some not so good fragrances in their even upper higher end line. If you follow the brand, I think you know what I'm talking about. But here's to wishing Tom Ford a recovery, and that way they can keep making great fragrances, and excited to see what's coming up next on the men's signature line, because they have been releasing a few oldies, so they're bringing those to light. So we'll see. Maybe they'll reintroduce Plum Japanese, or maybe Men Extreme over here. So all right guys, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you. If you have any questions on any other scents from Tom Ford, feel free to ask. I've tried quite a bit, and I'll try to give you my opinion on them. All right, cheers.